video, we'll be looking at the update to the Lizard 6522 by R.Mihail on Farming Simulator 22. It's for all platforms, PC, Mac, and console. I'm on PS5 here on the Rock Crawl map. 125.66 megabytes to download. So it's a fairly hefty download, megabytes. So what has been updated? It appears that we have a new truck and trailer to go along with the original truck, turbo diesel, originally with this mod. So we'll have a look at all of them actually. So where do we find it? Well, the trucks we'll find in vehicles and trucks, and here they are. So here I believe is the original one, 240 to 400 horsepower, 15 to 22,000 liter capacity, 55 miles per hour. So I do believe this has been unchanged. So there is that. But now we have this one. Basically the same chassis. And everything else is the same, as a matter of fact, except for the capacity. Slot counts are 24, 21, and the trailer will be 4 slots. So engine setup. Now if we go back here, we have capacity and engine setup, and if we take a look at the left side there, we have the engine with 240 or 400 horsepower. If we come over to this one, we do not have any horsepower information on the top left corner. Apparently that was omitted for some reason, or by mistake, I'm sure, not on purpose. So we have an identical looking truck. Now if you want to know which one it is, or which one you're picking, the 240 turbo intercooler or the 400 turbo intercooler, that will clue you in as to what engine you have. And if you want the bigger engine, then just go with it where it says 400 turbo. So that's that. Wheel setups, we have standard or standard 2. So those are your two choices. Fascia, plastic or metal, mirror configurations, canopy, that is a visor configuration, yes or no, extra mirror configuration, engine protection, you can't really see that, it looks like it's an inside thing. Main color, we have our choice of the orange you see there, yellow, blue, excuse me, cherry, white, red, green, or khaki. I like the khaki. Design color, again, you have all those choices. Let's make it all khaki. I like it. And then a license plate. Right. So that's your truck. It's basically identical to the other one, except the grain cart, or the grain container, or, well, the back, holds 25,500 liter capacity. Now the trailer can be found here under trailers, 29,380. As I said before, it is 4 slots only on console, 33,000 liter capacity. It's a multi-fruit, so basically everything. Design color, again, we have everything, including a white or khaki. And that's it. License plate if you wish. Right. Does it have another hitch on the back? No, no hitch on the back. So, right. So here we are. We have the combination here of the two pieces of equipment. Let's get our help window on. Hop in. Start it up. Interior. Nice interior. Sounds good. Let's go for a little ride. We have our trailer attached. If we unhook it, that's what it looks like. So there we go. Lights and signals. Let's go for a little ride, shall we? Before we torture this poor little truck. Now, I did notice a bit of an odd thing that I do see once in a while, and that is, once we get up to speed here, when you turn left, It's not so pronounced here. As a matter of fact, you don't even notice. It looks just fine driving around and turning like so. Fine. Okay, no problem. Let's go back and put something in it. Let's to start with, we will put something you would probably typically use this for, and that would be some kind of grain. And we'll test the stones in a minute, but let's fill it with wheat, for example. And already you can see the suspension sagging a bit, where is what you would expect, really. Same with this. It's a little dark here, but there we go. So we got 58,500 liters of grain, and it has a bit of weight to it. And this is the 400 horsepower model, so if you're picking the 200 horsepower, expect it to go much slower. Okay, now let's get up to speed here a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean about something weird. Ooh, it's going to take a little while to get up to speed. If I turn left, it leans left. So the more weight you have in it, see it turn right, it leans to the right. So just a guess why it's doing that. I think it's the so it doesn't tip over, for one thing, but I think it's overcompensating somehow. I don't know why it does that or how to fix that. I just know that's what it does. When you have a load on and you're driving around, it tends to lean into the turn, so it's probably a technique the modders use so that it doesn't tip over. However, it's kind of exaggerated a bit when there's a weight on there. So let's check out our options here. Tip side back, left, or right. So let's go tip side left, and we get this kind of animation, which is kind of cool. And it doesn't actually tip, it just opens the sides. So this could actually be quite handy for areas where the ceiling is low and you don't have much room for tipping. So that's really cool. So if we switch over to the back trailer, it is the same there. So let's just go ahead and tip out the back and show you that animation. And it tips out quite nicely, empties out fairly quickly. Excuse me. Right, so the back trailer being a bit more capacity, it will take a little bit longer to empty out. So, excuse me. I'm back. Right, all right, so all fine and dandy, you might say. However, for some of you, you may want to fill it with something a bit heavier. Now, if I fill it with rocks, it's gonna fail, because I'll show you this. So let's just drop the trailer for a minute. And it's all fine and dandy, more or less, until you get up to speed a little bit. And you turn, and when it turns leans into the turn, I think this left side, it really struggles with rocks. And rocks are very heavy, or stones, however you want to call it. So I mean, it's not, and the modder probably didn't intend for it to carry rocks, but it really, there we go. That now the front tire has gone flat, and we're like kind of like ugh, and it's kind of, oh, it popped out. So it struggles quite a bit with rocks. So I don't really fault it terribly much, but rocks are part of the game, stones are part of the game, and there are a number of mods that use rocks and so forth. So Although this is quite, to be fair, intended for hauling grain and such. But I test all trailers and trucks like this with stones because that's what I do. To be fair, that is how I test every truck and trailer. So we're going to go over and see if this poor little fella can climb up that hill. So we'll meet you over there. We've started us off already going up, climbing this hill. So I've loaded this poor little guy down quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't make it. But it is more of a vintage style type truck. And there's a lot of rocks on this thing. But we'll see how it makes out. I'm not really going to blame it or be too disappointed if it doesn't. Oh yeah, we're slowing down quite a bit here. So sometimes these things surprise me. They kind of get into first gear and just chug up a hill. So we're gonna see. Where we end up here. It looks like we're gonna be. Oh yeah, we dropped down to the first gear pretty fast there. So I'm going to chug away. This is going to take a little while. I'm going to chug away at this and we'll see. It looks like we're just kind of like really just plugging away up here. So we'll meet you at the top. Here we are at the top of the hill. We did end up crawling, knocking down to about 2 miles per hour. But it stuck at that, and it just kept chugging up the hill. It took about 5 minutes to get up here, but I'm pleasantly surprised. We made it, pulling this trailer and yeah, everything. So, since we're up at the top, let's go for a ride down and see what the brakes are like. Yeah, it made it up here. It took a while, but she made it. It had a really low first gear, so we just chugged along, and yeah. So here we go, 55. As soon as we hit 56 now, we're braking, and yeah, it's taking a little bit. See, that front wheel went flat from the weight coming forward onto the. Well, there we go. Wow. And there you have it, folks. The update to the Lizard 6522. New truck and trailer on Farming Simulator 22. Thank you all for watching, and remember, it's only a game, so till the next one, bye for now.